Yes.
I hope
So
it's
Jay,
visible.
it's over to you. I'm just making you the host and you can continue. Okay.
Sure, bro. All right, bro. Yeah, thank you. So, hello everyone. Very good afternoon to one and all. And here, as Saran and Bro mentioned, this is Jay. Full name called Jay Ganesh, and I'm working in one of our top MNC as lead AI architect. Here, I'm going to today we gathered here to talk about. Somebody is unmute. Let me mute them.
Jay, sorry, I have muted you by
Sorry, bro.
accident.
Sorry, bro. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So today, we are here. So today, I'm gonna serve on your plates a topic of Git, and of course, Git is one of our very popular and very useful. And wherever you goes, without Git, nothing will happen. So we'll discuss about it. What is a Git and why Git? So I'll just give 5 minutes or 10 minutes about what is a Git. Just a presentation about 5 minutes or 10 minutes just to understand what is the purpose of Git and everything. And next, I would like you to take to so hands-on. So hands-on is nothing but I'll take you to the GitHub repository with the login. So in the main gap, please you sign up with the GitHub. That's what I would request. Please sign up with the GitHub, GitHub, github.com. So you might have aware of this link. Okay, so please sign on with the github.com. Today, since we are at the 1 to 1.5 hour, we're gonna see about what is the GitHub, a short about GitHub, and then how to create a repository, how to add the files, and what is the benefits of GitHub, the properties, watches, and everything. I'll take you out. And other one is Git. We also can use it through local also. If you are working in an IT industries, you might have aware of it. What is exactly Git and the Git commands and everything. I'll just to give you the walkthrough of all of that. So because all of them I cannot serve in a single day itself, we'll have a just understand. So how to use a Git on the top level, we'll have our brief knowledge today. So for that case, let me share this link with all of you. So please sign up in the main gap when I'm talking about the presentation of Git. So Git, what is a Git? In general, a Git we can name it as a version control system. So what is the meaning of version control system? The name itself tells you some bit idea. Versioning, controlling system. Okay, and then you can see we'll see like what is a Git, what is a Git branching, and what are the most common commands. Anyway, we are not going to talk about this much. Okay, some common commands of Git. I'll give you some insights about this, by the way, and some examples. Okay, first thing is first version control system. So what is a version control system in simple concept? Consider we have a easily management collaboration on a project, avoiding the frustration of a swapping files. So what does it mean in the sense? Consider you have a WhatsApp or you have an Instagram. Okay, so the WhatsApp was updated at the time of which month we can take September. Okay, September 2025. They have updated one version called versioning, like a 1.2.1. Okay, this is a version. Now we are on the month of like May month, right? So we are on May month 2026. So for this case, I have a WhatsApp application have updated. Okay, so updated time is like a May 30th, May 2026, and the version is 1.3.0. This is a versioning. Okay, now you can see this is a one version and this is another version. Okay, so now in the current version everything is working pretty fine. Okay, we are working on the WhatsApp, everything is working pretty fine, no doubt at all. For example, you got an issue, suddenly you are sending in messages, this message is not sending properly. One issue, and another issue like is like you are sending a message that is reaching the destination, but you are not able to see the blue tick. So there was a two bug have spotted during the version called 1.3.0. Okay, so the version called 1.3.0. Now what WhatsApp crew will do in the sense, because once this bug identified by the users or somebody else, immediately they will be changing the version from this version to this version. Immediately they will be switching one version to the previous version. Reason is because this version is having all the proper issues. It doesn't have any issues at all. It's everything is working properly. But in this version there was two bugs. What WhatsApp will do this, because you can't play with this particular WhatsApp all the time, because you are having a two major bugs. So minor bug in the sense not a problem, but two major bugs. So they'll be changing their version and they'll ask you to work on this and they'll fix this bug. And once they fix it, they'll be switching this version to this version. This is called version control system. In order to do this kind of version controllings, right? So in order to do a version controllings, you should have one stack, you should have one medium. Okay, in this medium you have to update all the version. Okay, you have to do all the version. So this is a version 1, this is a version 1.1, this is a version 2, this is a version 2.1, this is a version 2.2.1. So like with multiple version controls, you are keeping under one umbrella, right? Medium called, right? This medium called Git. Okay, so what is this Git in specific? It's also called source code. It's also called source code repository. So that means these all are, what is that? Source codes. Okay, these all are codings. Okay, this is generally in technically we'll call it as a source codes, and we are keeping under the repository. That's what we can call it as a source code repository. This Git we also call it as a source code repository. This is a usage of Git. In very short, very simple, Git is all about nothing but you are having a branch of codes, you have a bulge of codes, and you wanted to store those codes under one particular medium. For that place you are looking for a infra or support or something else. That is called a Git source code repository. That is a usage. And what is the use of it? As I said before, this is your older code, this is your new code, and if you wanted to change this version to this version, this can be changed easily. And you are having a many newer version, you are having your many newer version, and suddenly you wanted to take the previous version to append here. That is also possible. This kind of managements and collaborations on a separate project, you can able to do it with the version controls. And you could have asked me, okay Jay, you are saying like a source code repository is fine. Now I have a source code repository. My team in my, if you take IT company, if you take one particular IT organization, so they have a multiple projects. So project 1, project 2, project 3, likewise, until you can keep like a, so till you can keep like thousands of repositories, you can able to keep it under this Git repository. So this project is will be having a multiple version controls, this project will have a multiple version controls, this project we have multiple, this project we have multiple. And anybody can access any of this project by accessing your Git repository. Okay, anybody can access. For example, consider this is a one organization called XYZ. So under the XYZ there are multiple projects. Consider HCL, they have a multiple Intel, Cisco, so on so projects they will be having. Under that particular umbrella you will be having this much of projects. Anybody can access any kind of projects. Okay, if you have access to the Git repositories. Okay, you can ask me, why Jay, why we are doing this? What if we keep this project in my local? Think about it. If you are keeping this kind of thing in local, what is the use of it? Consider one this project can be accessed by 13 member of team. Okay, so now you are doing some changes and you are keeping in local, and other one should keep this copy of this project and they have to do the changes. So finally you have to consolidate and everything, right? This consolidation, managements, blames, and who is making what changes, who is the issue for the current what whose changes are issue for the current issue, everything could be tracked by this Git source code repository. That is why we are using this GitHub repository in order to manage our source codes. Anyway, I'll go use to show you some hands-on so that you will understand it much far better, to have a betterment of views. Okay, and ability to have an unlimited number of developers working on the same database. That means, as I said it, right, if you have one project, under that project thousands of members can work simultaneously, thousands of members can push their changes and update the repositories, and kind of things they can able to work with. That is a one thing. And also, if your version is not good, if your changes are not good, you can easily revert back your files if something happened. Okay, this is what version control system. Git is called version controlling system, and also it is a source code repository. And in VCS, right? Version control system. We have a two kind of control system that are available. One is centralized, and another one is like a distribution version control. So what is a centralized and what is a version? I have some pictures for you. So centralized version control. Centralized version control. This is consider this is a one GitHub repository. Okay, that means your all the versions we are keeping under one primary project. Under one primary project. So this is a user one and he is a user two. So John, if you wanted to change some changes, you have to take it from here, and Alice wants some changes, and you have to take it from here. For example, if he pushes any bug, that will impact the entire project itself. This will be impacting entire project itself. This is called centralized VCS, where you are keeping all of your changes in a centralized project. From this project directly thousands of users are accessing them. This is a centralized one. And another one is distribution. So what is a distribution? In the sense, this is your main project as before, there is no doubt in it, but instead we'll be having some other branches in the sense, some other git versions. Okay, so this is called U8. This is a U80, we can call it as. Okay, this is called U81 and U82, and they'll be taking the branches of this model. Okay, they'll be taking the copy of these versions, and they'll be taking the copy of these versions, and they can do all of these changes, and they will test it here, and then they'll push these changes to here. Okay, that's nothing but simply how we will be organizing some things in our home in order to avoid some collapse, in order to avoid some confusions, how you are handling your racks and all, right? That is the same thing. Okay, job is same. Okay, but the process is quite different. This is the same repository, no doubt, but he's taking one master and he's taking a copy of other master, and he's doing all the changes here, and he's doing all the changes here, and we are testing right everything in the UAT testing. Okay, locally we'll be testing everything. Once all the testing is perfect, then he'll be pushing these changes to here. Okay, now these changes are called like a version 1.1. Now he is doing all the changes and he is doing the testing. Okay, before he is doing the testing, what he'll do in the sense, it will be taking this version 1.1 also will be updated here. Automatically it will be updated here. So now these changes will be tested on top of this v 1.1, then it will be updating to here. This is called distributed version controlling system. We are taking the distribution of the branches and we are making the changes on right over here, and we'll be doing it. When it will be helpful, when it will not be helpful. If you have a huge organization, huge team, huge process, then this is a best versioning control. But in general, I would recommend distributed VCS is the best all the times. But when your team is quite small and many of them is not working, only senior people are working, then this could be the best version, because in order to make the process faster. Okay, but this is a all time advisable since the team will be so higher and everything. So that's how I mentioned Git is a free, and yes, one of a prime thing in the sense this is a free source code repositories. Okay, this is a free and open source code distributed system with emphasis on speed and data integrity. You can push your codes, and you can just like that, you can push your codes and integrate your changes, and you can visualize the changes. And also you can see the centralized connectivity is needed. That means like a common internet connection, so you should all have you in the same branches or something else. Okay, and it's a very powerful and a cheap branching, that's no doubt in it, and losing a project is very very hard. Even for example, you are making some changes, if you are keeping some local changes, if you are keeping your repositories in local, think about it, you may have a lot of chances to lose your codes, to lose your repositories due to the hardware issues or something else. But Git is not like that, because it was handled in some kind of cloud services, and impossible of losing your data at any point of moment. Anybody can access at any moment with the right permissions, with the right configurations. Okay, and this is a repository, this all are specific to the development of from the scratch of development who will be doing Git and all, right? For them it's helpful, but for you people it's not really not required for now, because we'll have an insight out of it how the GitHub is really works. And maybe in the next session version 2, at the time I'll take you to the local voice, locally how to create a local repositories through the local, how to push your changes, how to make the changes out of it, and everything I will be telling you like that. Okay, maybe we can have a quick look of this, then we can go to the hands on. This is a git state operation. Okay, for example, consider now you are working directory, so now you are making some changes. Okay, this is you're making some changes, this is a primary repository. This is your major repository. Okay, this is available in a clone. Now you have taken a a local copy of that cloned working directory, and once you have made the changes, you are adding the changes to the staging area. Okay, you can have the idea staging area in the sense you just added the changes on the staging area, and now if you find these changes are really good, then you're committing it to the GitHub repository. So that means this is like a local Git directory. So this is called as a Git local Git. So this is this particular function which helps you to connect with your local with the main source code remote repository. So once you commit it, then it will be pushing it to the primary repository. Okay, so this is a functionality which really helps you, nothing but you are having the local repository. Okay, so cloned repository of the remote, and you are staging some changes. That is a function of Git add and everything. Then you are committing, then you are pushing into the remote functions. Okay, this is so called a Git state operation. This you will understand a far better with the local access. Okay, maybe that's what that is a separate phase. I'll talk about something that about later. Okay, now you can understand like what is the staging area, what is the Git repositories, and so and so. And what is very interesting part apart from this, so this and all is more technical. I don't want to confuse you, as we all are in the learning phase of the initial curve. Okay, so let me go to the hands-on directly, so not wasting time. First, you all please log in with the GitHub, github.com. So please sign up with the GitHub. As I said before, this is a GitHub. First, you sign up with the GitHub. Once you sign up with the GitHub, this is how it looks like. Once you sign up, this is how it looks like. Okay, because I have many repositories under here, so you can't able to see any of the repositories. Please sign up. So git sign up. If you want some video, maybe I can provide some videos. Once again, I'll stop sharing so that I'll get some videos. One second, I will. So okay, let me take you to this code. GitHub sign up. Maybe I can give one link to you. GitHub. How to create. So this is a simple setup video. You can try it sometime later too, not a big deal, but if you do it on the flow, that would be helpful. So students like people will also be there. So could you sure, yes, of course. Sure. So nothing but actually so far I just gave an introduction. So anyway, hands on, I'll go very slower. So all you need to know from this is a YouTube view, simple YouTube video for GitHub sign up and everything. So from now onwards, okay, you need to do sign up. Okay, you can do GitHub sign up first. Just to do a GitHub sign up for now, and once you did a sign up, okay, you will have this page. Okay, so maybe I can give you a couple of minutes for you people for sign up. Maybe you can do it now or you can do it later also, not a big deal. Okay, so now I'm just giving the short recap. Git is two things. One is we can name it as a version control system to control the versionings. Okay, as I said before, you have a WhatsApp version 1 and WhatsApp version 2, and Instagram meta team identified there was a huge bugs on the WhatsApp version 2, and they are switching to the WhatsApp version 1, and they keep it as a live for the all the end users. So this is called version control. You can change your controls of the versions at any moment by using the gits, and within the git you can keep a thousands of repositories, thousands of project source code repositories, and thousands of members can access a single project, can be done by source code. That is GitHub source code repository. In simple word, this is a place to store your source code, just like that. And you can change and you can mute it and revert anything you can do. That's how I will going to show you in the hands-ons. Okay, so that you will understand in a better point of way. Okay, so I hope you all did a sign up for now. I hope you have did a sign up. Maybe if you are not doing sign up, not a big deal. By the way, I'm not forcing you. You can have a look on my screen. Anyway, you have the recordings on your in your desk, in your servers. By the way, you can access them so that you can do it a little bit later also. Okay. For the initial curve, once you signed up, this is how your repositories looks like. Okay, so I have the many repositories by the way. So that's why I'm just choosing this one. Okay, now I can create one new repository. Okay, once, okay, Jay, I have this repository ready. So if I have my repository ready, what we need to do? So if you see here, there is a multiple options they are giving you right over here. Okay, there are multiple options they are doing right over here. Maybe I can let me change my other profiles too. Okay, just give me a minute. I will. Okay, no problem. So once you have this repository, you will have this kind of window is ready. Okay, you will have this kind of pages will be ready. Okay, now once you are done up to this, once your signed up is done, so let me one at a time. You can go to some settings. You can go to settings. Okay, if you go to settings, you will see many options. You can have a many options of this. You can just make your repository more customizable. Okay, because now this is my profile, Jay Ganesh Suresh. This is my profile. Okay, this is, I'm giving my profile as a sample for all of you. Sorry, this is my profile. I'm giving sample to all of you. Okay, so sign up with the github.com. Okay, sign up with the github.com. That is your first step. Okay, let me take the notepad. First thing is sign up with github.com. Okay, now we are going to second steps. What is our second step? We are not doing anything, nothing. This is just creating your profile, maybe more furnished. Okay, keep your profile like this, like you can keep your name, keep your bio. Okay, what is your bio, who you are, and some of the, if you have any URLs to promote yourself, you can add this everything right over here, and the location, so on, so everything will be there. You can just make it as everything is a simple. Okay, I'm not adding anything right over here, so since I don't want to expose my details much more, I just added my bio and as well as so on, so informations. Okay, and you can change many things by change it here, like you can get a what is that, accounts and appearance and everything, you can able to change it here. Okay, so these all are is basic one, so light theme and the dark theme, whichever you wanted to keep, you can do it. Just a settings thing, just a normal things, just to go to the settings, changing your profile, that's it. Okay, this is not belongs to the learnings what we're going to do and everything. Okay, so our learnings are different from this. So now I'm going to home. Okay, so you will have this window. So now once you logged in, this is a dashboard page, you will have it. Okay, I'm just sharing everything here. I hope I'm aligned with every one of you, each one of you. I'm going slower. Okay, I'm not pushing you by the way. I will go very slower. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, no problem at all. Okay, I'm not pushing much. Okay, first, once you have this dashboard, okay, I hope with the confidence of you all have this dashboard, you all. Okay, first thing is we need to create our repository. Okay, Jay, what is repository? This is my account. This is my JAISH19, my record. You all know, right? So now here I'm going to create my own source code. Okay, I'm going to create my own source code repository. So here you can see new option. So this new option, you can able to create your repository. So I'm just creating my new repository. Once you given a new, you will have this page visible. You will have this page will be taking you to this page. Once again, I repeat, once you did a sign up with the GitHub, you have this page. If you have this page, you can see the new one here. I'm just creating a new. Okay, here I'm creating the repository name. So now I have a one project. Okay, my project name, I can keep it as a Python. So not Python. I'm working in some client, my organization name XYZ. My client is like a Netflix. Okay, Netflix. My client is a Netflix. I'm keeping some project ID for my Netflix. So 1321. This is my project name. Okay. This is company name, my organization name. This is my client name, and for them I have working under this project. Okay. This is a one project. Maybe I can for this project basic Python. Okay, basic Python. Okay, this project is all about basic Python for Netflix. Okay, this is a one project. So description here, I'm just giving a simple description um, for a client, for a client, for a client of Netflix. Creating simple Python functions. Creating simple Python functions. So maybe your project would be so bigger, so you need to keep that name. So okay, once you go to here, you can create a new repository, and you will have this page. You can just give a name. So now you are the owner. Okay, now you are the owner. Under your name, you are creating the repository name. Okay, and then you can just give the simple descriptions. That's all. Okay, so now I'm giving like a visibility. So you wanted to give this visibility, you wanted to make everyone wants to see this repository or something else. Now for an example, this is my repository. If you go to my repository, right, you can see repository is 45. That means anybody can access this repository on your own. So if you open my code, if you open my particular repository, you can see this code. Okay, that means I gave the permission. I made every repositories as a public one. Okay, I have made all the repositories as a public one. Okay, this is what I'm doing it right over here. Okay, this is what I'm doing right over here. This is all of my source codes are publicly visible. Now you can see it here. So public, this is updated 5 days ago. Jupyter notebooks here I'm using. This is a public, this is a public, updated 5 days ago. So everything you can able to see. Okay, one thing, one at a time. Okay, now here I'm going here. So I'm choosing the visibility. Okay, I'm choosing the visibility. First thing, now I'm just creating. Okay, settings. If you go, create a profile, simple profiles. Okay, simple profile settings that you can do. Now what we are doing? We are doing creating the new repository for your project. Okay, creating a new. Now we are in progress. Now we are learning it in progress. Okay, so now I'm making this for a client Netflix, creating the simple Python functions. Example, I'm keeping it like a oneness. Oh my bad, shit. I'm by mistake I gave enter. I wanted to edit it. Once you created it, is hard to edit them. Shit, oh shit. Just a minute, I will delete it. I wanted to delete it. Just a second, by mistake I have created it so that I cannot access them. So this is what I have created. Let me delete it. I'm just checking it how to delete it. Okay, not a big deal. By the way, I have created it, so I have to push it and I have to delete it. So once I push the code, then only I can able to delete it. Okay, no problem. So for now, instead of that, I can create a new one as usual. So what we do the same thing. Okay, here XYZ Netflix already we have, right? So now this time Amazon, I'm creating a new repository project 0012. Okay, and here I'm doing simple. This is also Python base codes. Okay, so here I'm creating like a for Amazon, creating the simple projects, simple Python projects. Example projects is like a Fibonacci code, prime numbers or not, basic comprehension, and decorators. These all are my codes. Okay, these are all the thing is, so I'm keeping it as a public or private, whatever you want. You wanted to see your repository only by you can keep it as a private. If you wanted to make it as public, you can make it as a public. Okay, and add readme, right? This is nothing but for the longer description. So here you can see I have able to mention only the few descriptions, right? If you wanted to have a bigger one, I'm just adding the longer one. Okay, so now you can see here, you can see the differences. If you wanted to have the add readmes, about readmes also, you can do it. So just it will be creating the bigger files of all of this. Okay, so now I'm just creating it and adding the gitignore. So this gitignore tells which files not to track. Okay, if you mention it's like you are telling it, right? So adding the gitignore here itself, you can see, so it tells git which files not to track. You can just tell them what are the files you don't want to track. Okay, many files are there. So if I mention like a Python, if I'm giving a Python in the sense, it never track the changes from the Python. Okay, but I don't want to do it and all because I wanted to track everything. So I don't want to ignore any kind of trackings. Adding the licenses here, no licenses because we are working on the same thing. But if you're doing some other specific project, you can add the licenses also from MIT license and everything. Okay, now I'm simply creating this repository. Okay, I have created this repository. Okay, now your repository has created. Is it clear to everyone? Now you can see the README. So the README is just giving you the entire details about what is your project is about. Now I can give the lot of stories. Okay, I'm just giving like a what is Python. Simply I'm taking some content here. Okay, I'm just taking all of this content. So I will keep my repository more detailed. Okay, here I keep my repository more detailed. Just keeping it and just committing the changes. Now all it does is like you're committing the changes. Once again, I repeat, maybe I make faster here. Up to this, everyone is available, aligned with me, right? Creating the repository. So now you created your own project. Okay, you created your own project. Now I'll tell you how to add more files. Okay, how to add more Python files and everything. Okay, I hope everybody is aligned, I guess. So I'm just telling you only how to create a repository. Now I will explain you some other things, how to add the files, how to delete the files and everything, how to take some folders from my also other GitHub codes. Okay, yes, coming to the point again. Okay, please stop me if you have any doubt or something else. Okay, I'm going to, if you go to my repository now, this is my one of my project. This is my one of the project example. You can see it, right? This is my profile. If you go to the repositories, here you can find I have created a two project. So my project one is Amazon project, another one is a Netflix project. So actively we are going to work with Amazon. Okay, now I'm going to Amazon. Okay, so what this repository says, this is a simple project for Amazon. I have created this simple Python project. Now I wanted to add one code. Okay, so here, okay, now here you can see add. Okay, add file is there, right? Now I wanted to add a new files. You can add a new files or you can upload a existing files. Okay, I will for your example, I'll do the both. Okay, for I'm creating a new file. I'm creating a new file again and second. I'm repeating. Here, if you go to this repository, you created a repository, you are adding the new file. Okay, you are adding the new file. I'm adding a new file. Okay, so for this name, I'm just giving hello.py. So I'm just doing print hello world. Print hello, hello engineers. Hello engineers. So uh, hello engineers. Here, I'm just making all the stuffs. Okay, I'm just making a simple Python script. Okay, I'm just making a simple Python scripts I have added. For that name, I kept it as a hello.py, and here you can see. Okay, for this case, now I'm just checking any of the things you wanted to do something else. Now simply add it, simplify. You are adding this on a main function. You are adding it in on the main function. Okay, so I'll tell you what is a main branch or sub branch and all that also I will teach you. Okay, for now we can have here. Oh shit. So okay, not a big deal. Hello.py, and just to make it as a simple hello function. So print simply I'm making it as a hello engineers. Okay, I'm just sibling it, and here you can see the spaces if you wanted, and you wanted to keep some independence this and all, you can have it whatever you want. Here I'm committing the changes. Very important point is committing the changes. Okay, what is the meaning of committing? As I have already told you in earlier, okay, now you are in the working directory. So now this is my working directory, this particular repository, this is my working directory. I'm adding a new file. Okay, I'm adding new file that is called staging area. Now I added a new file here on my repository. I added a new file. Now I wanted to push it. Okay, I wanted to push it to my repository. Okay, in order to commit it, I need to give the committing the file. So what are all the files you're going to commit? This particular file I need to commit. Okay, now I'm committing it. Before you commit, okay, you need to give this kind of commit message. Now the copilot already adding it. So okay, now I'm just giving like a Amazon. Okay, I'm adding the commit Amazon git commit. So sorry, Amazon great message. Okay, so this is my commit message. So extended description. So this is a first code for Netflix. So Amazon, and planning to do much in the same project. So this is just a sample to validate. Okay, I'm just making it. So you wanted to create a directly to the main branch. You wanted to change, you wanted to commit this change with a directly main branch. Main branch you wanted to push, or you wanted to create some new branch for this commit to start a pull request. Okay, you wanted to do that and all. So this is a quite confusing for you now. I don't want to recommend now. You can directly push into the main branch. This kind of branchings and all, I will have a separate thing. For now, whatever I'm teaching, you can access Git. You can go for some other GitHub codes and you can keep it on your repository. That is the thing I'm just focusing on it. Okay, so in such a way I will be teaching you everything. Okay, now I'm just committing the changes. Now you can observe, now I'm just committing the changes. Okay, now file is committed. You can see it, right? This is a file we added here. Added a file, we have added a new file. You are just checking it. You added a new file. Okay, now is it clear, right, for everyone? So what we are doing, this is a hello.py, this is a description, short description. Now we just pushed these changes. Okay, Jay, I have some source codes in my local. I wanted to upload it in the GitHub repository. How can I able to do it? If you have that question, so now first exam, now creating the new process is done. Okay, then created a new file and committed to main branch. Okay, so this 4 activities we see now. Now I'll tell you other one. Okay, Jay, how to upload? Now we're going to see how to upload my codes from local. Okay, now I'm going to show you this one in progress. Okay, so that one example, I can take some code from my source. Do I have how many codes? Of course, workshop on preparations, deep learning, generative. Okay, machine learning, ML tutorials. Maybe I can take some, not this one. So AI, ML. Okay, some of the codes I have here. Okay, some of the codes I have here. Okay, so this is my code. Okay, here I have my code. This is my data set. Okay, so what I can do, this is my one of the Python code. Okay, this is my cluster histogram, one of my. Okay, Jay, I wanted to upload this kind of codes. I have copying a multi files. Okay, I have a copy of multiple files. So I wanted to upload these 3 files at a time. Okay, now I'm adding a file. Okay, you can observe it. You can add a file, uploads. Okay, you can go to the uploads. Here you can upload them. Just to copy all of them together and you can just paste it here. Now you are uploading all the 3 files. Okay, 1, 2, all the 3 files. Okay, here adding the cluster Amazon, right? Amazon, adding histogram code changes. Adding the histogram codes for for image detection. Okay, so I don't want to give much here, so I don't want to give much stories here, so you can add it. Not for now, I'm just adding now. Okay, now you can see it. You wanted to push into the same branch or different branch. I can give it to the main branch itself. Now I'm committing these changes. Okay, once you committing it, you can able to see this processing. So now you have this repository. Under this repository, you have created a 4 different files. You have uploaded a 4 different files. And if you wanted to see like how this codes and everything looks like, you can just come here and you can have a look at it. Okay, now if you come to this code, this is a source code. Okay, now you have uploaded almost 4 files are available here. So I'm just checking this place, and here you can see like a commit histories. Okay, now also you can see some of the details of the code. Okay, this is a comment for the code, and this is a commit id, and this is a history. Okay, how many times this particular file have been made a change, have made a changes. Okay, if you wanted to do this analysis, okay, because you might have thinking, right, last time when I ran this code it was working, but now it's not working. And if you want to text, okay, last time what changes have done, you can see it here. Okay, this is a commit id, we can call this as a commit id. Okay, commit id in the sense, commit for each and every commit it will generate one id. Okay, so now for this one you have added 165 lines of code. Okay, 0 lines not deleted, no lines are deleted, what just added 165 lines of code. Here I'm doing history, I'm just checking the history. Am I going faster or am I learned? Because I'm with my knowledge I'm going very slow, so if you able to capture it, right, everyone? Okay, I hope everybody is aligned. I trust you. Okay, so now I'm just showing you, I wanted to know, okay, I have updated this file and I want to know how many changes have made on this file, because last time when I ran this code it was working properly, but this time is not working properly. I'm just checking the history. Okay, here you can see the history, right? Here you can see the history. I'm just checking the history. Okay, there was no history happened because this is the last commit. May 31 is the last commit happened, and it was verified and it was pushed under this commit id. Nothing has happened. Okay, what to do if you wanted to have a, okay, if you wanted to see the code at this point you can have a look at it. Okay, and now you wanted to suspect, so okay, now this file is not working, you wanted to make some changes. Okay, you wanted to add some logs. To do that, okay, and you're going back to your code itself, you're going back to your code itself. Now you can edit the code. Okay, here you can see, here in this one, in this window you can also see blame. You can see the code, this is a code option, code blame and all, who are all made what changes. So now this entire code have been this much of changes. I'll show you many differences with many examples. Okay, at point of this moment, now you wanted to make some changes on this code. Okay, Jay, I pushed this code, but I find there was some mistake on this code, I need to make some changes. So here I'm making some changes, editing this file. Here you can see this is a project, this is a raw code, you can copy download the file, and here you can edit. This is a edit option. Okay, here I'm editing it. Here in this edit I'm changing the masking to 4. I'm the masking values to 4. I'm masking it to 4 values, and here I'm adding some loggers. Not a loggers, a print file. Okay, so change the mask range. Okay, I'm just keeping values as like this. So I have made a changes. Now you can see similar process, same code, but I added this 2 line of changes. Okay, this 2 lines I made a changes. Now you can see I'm committing the changes. Get it right? So I have taken this code. I am making some 2 line of changes. I'm doing it here. I'm just doing this 2 line of changes. You can just do the committing the change. So Copilot giving you something. Copilot is thinking changing the mask range in histogram calculation. So I'm keeping the same thing. Okay, I'm just committing it. Now what changes you done, that was appended here. Now the interesting part, now you can see the history here. Now you can see the history. Now also you can see the blame. Here you can see the blame code, and the blame is right. Now you are in code. Now you can click blame. In blame you can able to see. So this entire file done by this 4 minutes ago may had a changes, and here you can see this particular change, this line of code, right? This particular line of code, you have this 2 line code, right? This 2 line code changes done now this changes, mask is done. Okay, so in this change, during this changes, what are the changes done? 2 line of code is added, 2 line of code is added, and one file is removed, one change, or sorry, one value is removed. That value is nothing but from 8 to 9 we change, so 8 to 4 we change it, right? That value is changes here. You get it right? So this is a entire histories you can able to see. This is called a blaming. Okay, Jay, I wanted to exactly see the differences. You can just better click it. If you click it, it will take you other views. Okay, so what are the changes are done? Earlier it was 3888. Here you added 444. Okay, and other added is like this line is added, new line is added. Okay, so this minus you can see, this is a place where you see the changes. This minus you can see it. This that means this is removed. This is removed and this is altered here. And here you can see other plus the new file is added. So here there is file is not present. So this is a thing. Okay, this is the way where you can able to change the things. And if you wanted to comment, okay, this is expected change, telling something else, you can make it up. You just comment it. Okay, you can just commenting it right over here. That's it. Okay, likewise you can just review the entire repository. You can review the entire repository with a lot of, because each and every second, each and every minute, multiple code changes will be happening right over here. Okay, so now I taught you that how to upload the codes from local, how to review the history and the blame options, to observe the changes in the existing code, okay. So this is a other one what I have taught you. This is another one. Okay, so for now I just taught you like how to add the files, how to create a repository, how to add the files, and how to make the changes right over here. So now I will teach you some of them, because as I said it before, right, here many functions are there. Okay, this is actually Git is very simple. I can't say it's very hard. It's very simple. But for your current moment, I will teach you whatever you really want. Now you can see if anybody wants, okay, Jay, what are the changes you have done in your J Amazon project? So if somebody asked what kind of changes you've done, you can just give them, just copy this file and you can give it to them like this. Okay, could you share this notepad matter, so I can upload it in our circle? Yeah, sure, of course I can give you so. So once I did everything and I can give you so. So Ram Sushil, I can whatever things I'm doing it now, sir. So once I say when at the end of a session, I will share you the entire notepad content in the chat space, sir. Okay. So now if somebody asking you, okay, Jay, what are the changes you've done with this pod for the Amazon project for the past 1 week? Can you give me the source code? You can just tell them, you can just give this code, you can just take the link and you can give them the link. Okay, that's what. Please, small age, don't go. Oh, fine. Yeah, Ram, all right, of course. Yeah, of course. I don't know, right? The people who are here, who is younger than me and who is older than me. That's a problem. No, I can call you Ram then. All right, Ram, I can share you this content at the end of a session around 1:30 or 1:45. I'll share you this content. Okay. All right. Yes. So stepping to the change. Uh-huh. Yes. Here it is. Here I am. Where I am. So if anybody asking you, okay, Jay, what are the changes? You can just type. So now this is your Public, this is your repository and this is your public. Okay sir, I wanted to see this change, how I can able to see this change? So you know this is your GitHub code, so you know your GitHub profile. Okay, you know what is your GitHub profile. If you go to your GitHub profile, you can see the repositories. If you click on the repository, you can see your repositories. Okay, you can see your repository. So this is a repository we are working on. So here I have many repositories for my project, but for you people, you have created this one project in the sense this will be there. Okay, you can just go here and you can access the source codes. Okay, and also many multiple interesting, you can give a search and everything. And okay sir, I wanted to have a different branch, sir. How is it possible? Is it possible that I wanted to create a different branch, under that branch I wanted to make something? Is it possible? Yes, of course it's possible. That also I'll tell you. Okay, now if you are down, you wanted to download this entire repository. Okay, you wanted to download this entire repository, you can just download them here. Download zip. Okay, okay, you are accessing somebody repository and you wanted to download them, you can just go here and download the zip. Okay, go to repository, you can see the code and you can download the repository. Here I'm just downloading them. Here I'm just downloading. Here you can see the repository is downloaded. Here you can see my repository. Here you can see my repositories with all the codes. Okay, so likewise, if you are working with any one of the repository and you wanted to access them and you wanted to play with them, this is a way you can able to do it. Okay, many activities you can done over this development. Okay, many things can be done. Okay, now now I taught you like a how to share the how to share my working repository. We saw that how to share my working repository and how to download my working repository. How to download my working repository. Okay, fine. This is all we have seen it now. Now the next one is example. Okay, for example, I'm taking some different repository, object detection objects, and for now you are looking for some code. Okay, you are looking for some machine learning, basic machine learning project, GitHub repository. Okay, you are giving like this. Okay, basic machine learning project GitHub repository. You are doing some project, you are getting some requirement and you are wanted to do some project, so you will be getting multiple repositories as like this, correct? Okay, now I'll teach you one thing. For example, you can see this repository. So something randomly I'm taking some repository. Okay, so here if you see this particular machine learning projects, right, they are having this much of projects are available under them, this much of projects. So like AI room booking chatting and brain tumor detection, classification, and colorized black and white images. Many projects are available now. Okay sir, I wanted to access this project, but each and every time I don't want to come here and I wanted to do it. Instead, what you can do in the sense, you can just fork them. So what is fork means? Okay, this option, right, this you are accessing some repositories, and you wanted to have this particular repository to be copied on your repository. Okay, you wanted to keep them, you wanted to bring them on your repository. In such a case, in such a way, what you can do in the sense, here you can see the fork option. Okay, fork your own copy of this one to there. Now I'm just, you can see it here. Okay, I'm just a fork here, I'm just giving fork here. Now once I give a fork, it is asking me create a new fork. Fork is a copy of a repository. Forking a repository allows you to freely experiment with the changes without affecting the original project. Okay, now you are just copying the entire machine learning projects repository to your own repository. Okay, I'm just copying it to the main branch and everything, just creating the fork. Okay, once again I repeat, you are just searching some projects in a GitHub. Okay, and you find that there is a one repository. This repository, you loved this repository, but you wanted to have this repository on your local. For that case, what you can do, you can just fork them. If you give a fork, the options you can see it here, the fork option. What is this fork? If you click this fork option, you can copy this machine learning project, or you wanted to change some name. It's like a for BE. Okay, likewise I'm just doing it here. Okay, I'm changing the name. I'm just changing create a fork. Okay, now the fork is done. Now the fork is done. Now the fork is happening. Now, if you see it here, you can understand one thing. Now I'm going to your repository. Okay, this is my repository, right? This is my GitHub repository. You can see. Okay, here, the code the repository we copied from there. What is that? Machine learning projects. I changed the name, by the way. You can see the machine learning projects I copied to my repository. You get it right? I copied that machine learning repository from that particular project. So here you can see machine learning projects. Okay, for B I changed the name, but forked from this repository. I have copied it from this particular repository. You get it right? What I try to do. So here you have multiple repositories. You have repository, but you love this repository and you wanted to have this repository on your local. For that, you don't need to download and you need to do. Instead, you can just fork them. Fork them in the sense you just download and add it on your repository. Once you forked them, you can see your repository in your repository list of repository, right? This project will be listed out. And also it will be telling you like from where you forked them. Okay, now if you go here, you can see all the projects here. Here get a hair room bookings and brain tumor and every projects you can just explore right over here. Okay, and this GitHub is nothing but this is just a blank for poking process. Okay, this and all is not a big deal. Okay, get it right what I'm trying to do and everything. This is one of a very important point for you people when you're working with other repository. Okay sir, okay, can you give me the other example, sir? Yeah, I'll show you one more example. So object direction project, object direction project GitHub. Okay, I'm just searching like this. I'm seeing some project. Okay, this is my project and this is a one repository I'm referring, and I find that this recording is very important to me, so I can fork them. If I fork them, it will come to my repository. Okay, if I fork them, it will come to my repository automatically. I don't want to clumsy. I don't want to make my repository so clumsy. Okay, so this is a way you can able to fork them. Okay, so here you can see how to fork the repository from other repo to your own repository, own account folder. Okay, so this is very, very important one. Whatever we are studying it now. Okay, so is it clear till this, everyone? For everyone, I hope you have a bit idea now. So what's the difference between creating the feature branch and the forking branch? Feature branch is nothing but that is creating by your own. Actually, feature branch is nothing but you will be creating your own features on top of that branch. Forking repository is nothing but you have taken a repository from other sources to your sources, your local. Okay, that is a difference from this repository. Yeah, I'll show you that. So I'll tell you like how to delete the forking repository. That's what I need to tell. Okay, so that is a different feature branch in the sense you can create your own feature branch. So if you are making multiple features, that is a feature branch. So forking repository is like you copied one repository to your repository. This is called what repository? Forking repository. Feature branch is like this is your feature branch, not a branch actually. This is a feature repository, and here you can create a multiple branch. That I will tell you now how to do it. Okay, so now I will tell you how to delete the fork repository. Okay, that is quite confusing, but now it's been changed. I'll show you about how to delete the fork repository. Okay, now for example, this is my fork repository. Okay, here let me change it because now the view has been changed. I have to look it around how to delete it. Okay, so if you cannot unfork them, maybe we try. First thing is like you can unfork them. That is also possible, but this option is not available. Already forked. So here you can see that that is forked, by the way. We can't do this. So I'll tell you how to sync fork. Yes, one more important point. Yeah, I forgot to say this. So this branch is up to date with this one. And if you wanted to know if any changes by this buddy, right, this SSHR, so he's doing some changes on this repository, and you wanted to have the changes directly reflect on your repository, you need to give sync fork. Okay, this branch is not behind the upstream, because that means it's completely up to date. Okay, it's completely up to date, so don't need to do the upstreams and everything. Contribution, so you wanted to make any contributions, this branch is not ahead of any upstream. They are not doing any contributions. You can't do any contributions, or they are not doing any contributions at all. Okay, if they are making some changes in this repository, you can just sync them and it will automatically impact on your forked repository. Now I will tell you that how to do this delete of this repository. This is quite hard. Wait, some message I'm getting. What is this from? Yeah, let me delete it. This process. This is a way I can add it to my repositories. Here you can see the activities and the contributions and everything. This one I have to. I need to go to the repository directly. Why this has been changed? I need to see my repository. Pull request.
Hey, hi Jay. Jay,
Yeah,
sorry to
yeah,
disturb
bro.
you.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Jay,
Yeah, bro. I'm audible, bro.
Jay, can you just
I'm audible.
enable the chat to everybody? Uh, just go to
It's
the.
enabled to everyone, bro.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, fine, okay,
Everyone
yeah.
in meeting. Yeah, yeah, bro. Everybody can able to access, I guess.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you, Jay.
all right. Yeah, bro. Fine. So now I little stuck here to delete this repository. By the way, it's not a big deal. Let us how to delete fork repository in GitHub. So big, not a big deal. Coding wise, I know, but navigate your forks the main page, open the settings, and scroll to the bottom. Navigate to the forks main page. Okay, open settings and just scroll to the bottom, general app, and click delete repository. Folks main page. Okay, this is folks main page. Go to the settings where I can access the settings. Settings is quite here. Okay, repositories. Yeah. Okay. Machine learning. So here you have to search. Here you can search a repository. These are my deleted repository. Mm, machine learning. Here you can find this noise is coming out. How secure is a GitHub, which is like to have a Google account? How it is safe? No, actually, that's what this is. Repository, this source code, since you're logging it through GitHub by using a Gmail, it doesn't mean that it is a Google account. Okay, this is just they are taking the credential of yours to authenticate yourself in order to allow you into their repository to create an account. But this GitHub is quite secured, because they are keep on doing a lot of patches and patches and patches in order to avoid the security blogs and security lags and everything. So not only this GitHub, because many of the industries, not only the one or two industries, many of the source code industries, they are directly using the GitHub. There is no doubt in it, and this is a lot of safe, and they are having the backup plans and everything. For example, if you lose of any of your branches or the course or something else, we can able to track them in a very peculiar way. We can able to track them in a very peculiar way, and also they will be giving you the copy of that repository. This is what they are telling it, but not exactly so sure, but quite quite very safe when you use like a GitHub. And also GitHub, like a GitHub, we have a many other source code repositories like a Codebeamer and GS. Likewise, many repositories also is there. Safety wise, we don't need to worry about it, because many of the industries are using this GitHub for the decades, so we don't have to worry about it. But occasionally may happen, but they are giving the backup plans to copy out to take a copy of your repositories. Okay, that's how they suggest you. So here, what is the project is about? Machine learning, not machine learning. Yeah, machine learning. This is what I have to go here. I can go. Again, it's coming here. It's not supposed to be logged into GitHub account. Select your repositories. Click on the fork repositories you wanted to. Okay, good. Check the settings. Represented by a gear option on the top horizontal menu bar, and scroll completely bottom. This is already I tried. Okay, because here if you see, here you can see like a setting tab and with the gear icon. Okay, with the gear icon. Settings with the gear icon. Have anybody noticed it? Nobody. And here it is not there. Yes, of course it's not there. Actually they have removed the options. Is quite okay. So here I wanted to your options. I don't want to do this. Okay, let me check it a bit later. Then give me a for some time. Maybe I can identify it and I can give it to the laters. One second. I'll just stop sharing for a minute. I'll find it in a quicker way because I need to go to my privacy settings. So allow me for a minute to go for a minute. Yes, I'm back. One second. I logged in mine so account. Let me check it now. Okay, let me check it now. I'm sharing my entire screen. Okay, so again, coming back to the same topic. So look into profile and so on. So must be here, and I can check it out. Here, what I can do. This is my fork repository. Okay, so for the question, I got it now. Yes. So this is my fork repository. If you go to my fork repository, you can find this is my fork repository. This is my settings. Okay, here you can go to the settings. I was settings actually I was looking into there. That's my problem. Okay. Now you can go to the settings of this repository. Now you can do the lot of social changes and everything right over here. Now you want to reach visibility, disable branch, transfer ownership, leave fork network, and everything you can do it. Now I would like to delete it here. Okay. You can either go for like a free leave fork network or you can go for delete this repository. I would choose an option here called a delete this repository because I don't want to keep it right over here. I wanted to delete. Unexpected bad things will happen if you don't read this, like a permanently delete, blah 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 blah. I have understood. Yes, of course. You know to delete them, you just copy the name of this to avoid you're not a robot. Deleting this repository. Please. It is asking my mail ID. Ganesh. Okay, just a minute. I need to because in order to redirect, it will be giving the what is that code sent to my mail ID. I have to take that mail in order to confirm it. Just a minute. I'll take my mail ID for securing purpose. Okay, I don't get it. Yeah, here I got it. Yeah, here I have a small verification mail. I just copied it. Let me share screen back. Yeah, here you can see I have copied the login ID, just giving right over here. Okay, now your repositories is successfully deleted. Okay, now you can find out here. You can't find my machine learning project here. Okay, that particular machine learning project is not available here. Okay, so this is a way to delete your repository of the fork repository. And if you wanted to do the same for this one, Netflix, I could have tried the same here. You can go to the setting option. Okay, you can go to the setting option, come back to the bottom. You can see an option called deleting the repository or transfer or something else, but I don't want to do this, deleting it directly. Please, it doesn't have anything at all inside. Okay, all you need to do is just delete them. Hence, it's deleted. Okay, It's great, right? So you can understand that how to delete fork repository and the local R repositories. Okay, this is clear till this. So the process is simple. Once you get into it, anybody can do it. So actually, enterprise use. Yeah, actually, for enterprise use, GitHub is customized. Yes, of course, for because we need to get enterprise version. So with this open source GitHub, we can do many things, but for our local purpose can be done. But if you are doing it in a professional way and you are creating some organization and you wanted to have every source code repository, enterprise version is very important. That enterprise version will give you a lot of customization with respect to the access tokens and the API, so API key accesses, and you can create a multiple branch within the same source code itself. Many things you can able to do it. Okay, how it is different from the SharePoint almost same actually, but SharePoint is almost you can have a one common community can be able to access, but this GitHub is a very common. It is a source code repository which can be accessed by any kind of crew or something else. Having said that, I don't say like a SharePoint is not that helpful. SharePoint is a place where you can able to create a lot of sources with respect to the documentation, codes, and everything. But Git is a common places where you can able to. So for example, if you ask my organization, I would be using CodeBeamer. Okay, if you ask me like, oh, do you feel like a GitHub is not that familiar? The GitHub is not that good since you're moving to the CodeBeamer. It's not like that, because the funding basis, who is giving like source code repository with the less cost with the more API functionalities, we do choose them. That's a difference. Okay, setting is at the top. Yeah, correct. At the end, I can see the delete repository. Yes, same thing. You have to do the same thing, Satya. And if we join AI internship as a fresher, does learning GitHub? Yes, of course, is important. GitHub is very important, but for a fresher, they would not expect you to know like whether you know GitHub and everything. But if you highlight that I know GitHub, I have done some repositories, I have done so and so projects, but I have tracked everything on my source code repository. If you tell them in the sense, it would be like a additional preferences they would give on top of you, because in organization without Git, without a source code repository, no projects will be there. If you come to the organization, they'll ask you download this source code repository, clone this repository, start work on it. That's how they'll say. Okay, what's the relevance of fork repository? What is the relevance in the sense? That's what. So what is the relevance in the sense? Many of their projects you can able to do it. Okay, it's not really mandatory that you have to do everything on your pay, on your scale and everything. You can take someone's work, and since it is a public, you can able to fork them. If it is a private, in the sense, you can't able to view them at all. You get it, right? So this is how where the fork repositories is really helpful. And what is the importance of the fork? Nothing but, so you don't want to do it because there is already some project you are looking for. So consider some object detection I'm telling about, right? Some object detection is doing it. Okay, now this object detection project, you are very interested of this object detection repository. What you can do, you can just fork them and you keep your repository. You can fork them on your repository. One job is done. Now once you forked them, you can do many changes on top of this repository. Just imagine you have copied this repository, you forked this repository on top of your profile JISH19. Now what I can do, so now this doing some object detection, but I wanted to make some changes on top of it. You can take this file and you can change some of the one stage, two stages function, and on top of it you can able to make changes out of it. That's what, you don't need to create the same project from the scratch. Instead, you can take someone's effort, someone's work, and you can do your work on top of it. That is a benefit of doing this, forking the repositories. And also, if you are reliably wanted to track their changes, you can just follow them. You can just sync the changes and you can observe on it. Okay, that's how it's really helpful for all of you. Yes. So maybe few more things, since very good actually, is because I didn't expect this much of responses. I'll get it from your end. I thought you all are very from scratch, but of course you know it. You guys are not very scratch. You have an idea about it. That makes really sense to me. Okay. And one more thing, since this question's been asked about a fork, I would have to say something else. Now, if you see this project and all, right, now you can see This is a MIT license. That means this project is offered by the MIT license. So if you are doing this project and you are made to make some changes on top of this source code, in the sense you should attach this MIT license on top of it in order to avoid any collisions or issues from the industry of MIT. Because nothing but all the source code is not for free. So for example, if I go some other repository, instead of this I choose this one. Okay, let's see. This repository is also MIT license. Okay. um, machine learning classification project GitHub. You're doing this one. Okay, instead of doing this one, Sharav, this. Okay. Oh my bad. Here I go. Here you can see everybody's attaching MIT license. Actually, it's not required for everything. Actually, this is for like a for a secure purpose they are adding it, but it is not like that. So here you can see this is not an MIT license or something. So this kind of changes, you can directly take it and you can do any kind of changes. It's not mandatory that you need to do the code of conduct, MIT license, everything. You don't need to focus on it, everything. Okay. So just for knowledge purpose, I'm just telling this. Okay. And some other things also you can understand. Like if you go for this repository, you can see how many of them are forked to this repository. How many of them have started this repository. And even I can start this repository under some branches. This is like a future idea or my Slack or something else. I can able to create a list and I can able to add it them, because for your learnings kind of things. Okay. And watch, if you give in the sense, you can able to track all the activities, what are the things that are actually happening here. If somebody made some changes, it's not real mandate that you have to fork them. Instead, you can just keep and watch here, and if any changes have made, you can pull the repository in local and you can work on them. Okay, so this is a where you can able to push on these changes. And one more additional stuff, this is a community activities. So what I'm going to talk about now is a community activity. SJ, a bit little bit understanding on GitHub is there, but sure, the boss. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, that's what this quite simple of things. By the way, I have completed my graduation from came out with we did some very topics on the Git. Oh great, then that's really helps. By the way, that's really helps. So Git is primary one. It's not a big thing. Just by sitting just 4 days or 5 days, if you sit dedicatedly, you can able to understand much more. Anyway, I have some documentations by the way with me. I will share it with all of you. Okay, cloning copies on the repository and forking copies. What is the difference? Yes, cloning copies are nothing. Cloned in the sense like you are cloning the repositories to local. Okay, example, here we have created this repository, right? Now I can give this repository copy URL, right? I can give this repository to all of you. Maybe example, I'm giving it here. I'm just giving it. You can clone this repository. That means you can locally copy this repository on your local. Oh, sorry, you can locally copy this repository. Okay, from your home server, a local server. Okay, and other one is like a forks. And you asked for like a, what is a forking copies? Forking copies is nothing but you are taking someone's work to your local. Okay, this is your one. You're the owner. Okay, you are just copying it and cloning the repository. You can do it. Okay, Jay, okay, sir, can you tell me that is it possible I can clone this repository too? Yes, of course, this is a public, and here you can see the code, right? If you code the code, and you can see the option called the GitHub code. You can just copy this one and you can just clone them in locally GitHub command. And if you are using like Git SSH or something else, you can try it. But more familiar is this is a one thing, cloning the repository. Okay, this is a one thing, cloning repository to the local. And forking copies are nothing but you're copying this repository on top of your source code repository. There is a difference. Cloning is copying the source code to the local. Forking is nothing but forking someone's repository to your local source code repository, called forking. The differences. Okay, 1 second, 1 minute. Yes, is it understand? uh, Great. Actually, I'm from COVID batch, so my college happened like fast roller coaster. So I understood. Not a big deal. See, that was different, but learning is different. This Git and all, I'll give you some concepts. I'll give you some YouTube videos. Maybe you can learn it far better. Okay, so nothing complex. Honestly, says nothing complex. You don't need to worry about much. So forking is something like oops. No, it's not a oops and all. Oops concept is completely different. That is a coding. That is coding. In the coding, oops is one of a conceptual structure where you can able to create a class and functions and everything. Forking is quite different. Forking is in GitHub is just a copy. You are taking from B, you are having the A rack and the B rack. Okay, A rack, you are the owner for the A rack. Okay, consider you are A rack, rack A. Okay, this is a rack B. You are the owner for this repository and you are making it as a public. And this one is someone in sense called Manish, a person called Manish, and he is the owner for this repository and he made this one also public. Okay, now what you are doing in the sense, fork in the sense, you just copying this repository and keeping it on your repository. Having said that, you are not deleting, not deleting this repository, not like that. And this Manish made some changes on this one 1.1, some changes in the sense you can sync that changes also here. That means you can track the repositories and you can make the changes, and you can also do some changes on top of it. You can do some changes on top of this repository also, that never be updated to here. You get it right? That is a forking. Okay, that is the differences between. So here the both the repositories, somebody, if somebody is forking your repository, they can able to fork them to their repository. They can copy yours one and you can do it. Cloning in the sense, you just copying this repository to local machine, local laptop or local something else, you can do it. That's all. Okay, so forking is copying to your remote repository and cloning from your local repo. Exactly right. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So forking is copying to your own remote repository. Yes. Cloning is for your local repository. Exactly right. Exactly right. Okay. Okay, so Git installations and all, you can do it in your local and you can try many, and that's what, right? Still many components are there, like as I said before, you can just explore the issues and the pull request. You can create a pull request, and again to end things are there. Maybe if you need this further, maybe we can connect future. For now, you can have this knowledge for this one because I don't want to crush you much. For this 1.5 hour, you have a wisdom of idea how to do the clonings and the forking repositories and deleting and everything. Okay, so for today you can have this knowledge. How do we resolve conflicts? Yes, we have the conflicts and all is there actually, but that is I have materials. Maybe I can give that material to you. Yeah, I'll share it the material with the Saravanan sir, and he will share it with you. So conflicts, yes, of course, conflicts will happen if multiple changes are happening at the same file, and we can able to identify the conflicts and we can able to fix them. That is also possible. Some comments are there, Git comments are there. Okay, that's what. Maybe I don't want to crush you everything at this moment. Okay, for now this is fine. For rest things, maybe I can take another one of a session later tomorrow, so later next week I can give you, because I have the end-to-end things. I can show you some things, workshops and DevOps. You can see it here, and I have a Jenkins, Docker, material, Git. Yeah, here it is a Git. Okay, this is so this much of contents are there. Okay, now I taught you everything is just a very top level. In the local level, I have everything is like a global level. I taught you, not a local level. Local level, you have to create a GitHub account, everything, and you need to install them, and you need to sync with them with a PyCharm or VS Code. Then you need to do the cloning repositories, then Git commands and everything. These are all the Git commands, popular Git commands. To avoid a conflicts and all, I have a separate things. Okay, so these are all by using the Git command we can able to do them. Okay, so what I taught you, which helps you now to work on the top level. That's how whatever I taught you, which helps you. Not in depth. In depth is required. By the way, if you ask me like, okay, okay, sir, is it required to learn in depth? Yes, of course, it's required. Okay, that's what. And also, if you wanted to make some comments on this repository issue rising, okay, I don't find some changes are good. You wanted to create some issues, you can able to create them and assign it to somebody else, and pull request and some actions, and these things are also there. Okay. Anyway, maybe I can sync up with you in this way. The later point we can align more. Okay. Okay, guys. Any doubts up to this point? Any queries or any doubts you have? So because 1.5 hour we synced here. So this one session you might have heard about what is the sign up and the settings and everything. Any doubts? Any queries? So and so. Okay. Thank you, Sachin. Thank you. Okay, so okay, yeah. What is the local level, sir? Local level in the sense like keeping the repositories, cloning the repositories in local, and from local you can push the changes to the remote. Okay, thank you, Sujata ma'am. Thank you, thank you. And for example, remote repo. So this is a remote in the sense it's available in the cloud. So what you see in the cloud, what is in your GitHub, and the local in the sense this is your laptop. So in your laptop you are making every changes, right? That changes and all you have to push it to this repository. That is called, I mentioned, as a local level. Okay. So thank you. Yeah, sure, of course, Satya. We'll learn much more. Yeah, of course, I'll educate you much on this conflicts and everything. Best IO opener in GitHub today. Great, great, excellent to hear. Okay. Okay, thanks everyone. If no more questions, thank you. And maybe I can hand over this to Saronan, bro. Bro, are you there, Saronan, bro? Saronan, bro, are you there? Okay, I think he's not available at this moment. Maybe we can, any doubts, maybe we can stick about. Yeah, okay, fine then. So I hope fine. Since you printing so much, thank you. I happy that you have no question. Yeah, thanks everyone. So have a good rest of the day and a happy Sunday. Bye bye.